testify to angelic beings in their lives.
An angel? That isn't hard for me to figure out.
I'd love to meet the angels that say that. I'd love them to say thank you.
We can depend on them. They're there for us. And if we're not aware and we're not looking for it, in a sense, then we don't recognize it and we're not blessed.
Gives me the cold shivers just to feel it. Just think about it, you know?
And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and their numbers were 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands and thousands. Those are the words of John in the book of Revelation, whom God allowed to have a slight glimpse inside of heaven. Later in the book of Hebrews, the author speaks of an innumerable company of angels. And in Shakespeare's Hamlet, the world's most famous playwright penned, "Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and may flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." From creation to the 1st century to Shakespeare's 16th century, angels are clearly present and recorded throughout history. Art is inspiring with many pictures of angels. But today, in our lives, even now as I speak, yes, even around me as I speak, and around you as you listen, that, at least, is according to several men and women you are about to meet. Men and women who insist beyond any reasonable shadow of a doubt that they have come in contact with angels. From 10 years old to 79 years old, you will hear incredible stories from men, women, and children who have been saved from death or simply comforted and told everything will be okay. Protestants, Catholics, professionals, homemakers have all agreed to come forward to tell their inspiring stories of contacts with God's messengers.
He wants me to stick around for a while now on earth.
Mark was crushed under 1,700 pounds of steel and about to die when an angel appeared and saved him. Jill hurt emotionally and was very discouraged until 2 angels prayed with her. Doug was driving a bus full of passengers when an angel saved all their lives. Glennon was 10 years old when her raft drifted out into the ocean. The man who saved her never came out of the water. Betty's 4-year-old son was in a coma about to die. A strange visitor appeared and comforted her. And Don was surrounded by a bright, radiant light in the cab of his truck. We'll also recreate true stories of angel encounters, one in a Nazi concentration camp, another on a college campus where a co-ed was saved from being raped. Angels today, all of these people say absolutely. We'll also hear from experts on angels and hear what God has to say about his created beings. Throughout the centuries, artists have depicted angels as gloriously winged creatures who are hovering and keeping watch over us. But most people who come in contact with angels don't see them that way at all. They take on human form and are there one moment and gone the next. That is Mark's story. Mark is 38 years old. Born and raised in Peoria, Illinois, Mark met his angel 6 months ago in Los Angeles, California.
I was in Ventura County working at Newberry Park Hardware. And we were resetting some bolt bends. Bolt bends which were about 6 foot high, 8 shelves. And you had bolts and so forth that you want to go to hardware store, want 50 bolts to get your bolt bend out of your pick bend in the front. And then behind it you had full boxes. Each 4-foot section held about 1,400 pounds. And we had 6 of these side by side. three other guys helping me, and I reached up to grab something off the top shelf, but I noticed everything starting to collapse on me. The gondola got off balance. I told my partner, and I noticed at that time that after I told him to get this off, I couldn't breathe. And they said 1, 2, 3. They tried to push this off. They couldn't budge it. I was crushed. And I noticed that there was 2 other guys that came in and tried to help also. One guy in particular had a pock-marked face, kind of reddish, blondish hair, and an earring. He kept going like this. He had big arms. And he didn't get underneath the bolt bends. He just kind of reached over. I was going to help these other guys lift these gondolas off. And I remember saying to myself, I wish this guy would get underneath the bends and get some leverage, because he's not going to get leverage. Well, to make a long story short, they said 1, 2, 3, and they pushed this guy. He lifted some bends off me enough, and I had a lot of strength, and I got out, and I got my breath, and I walked around with it. I wanted to thank this guy for helping me. I asked my partner who that guy was to help me. Well, there's no guy that helped me. I said, I know there was, and I described the guy, and then I went to the front and asked the staff who was the cashier. There was only one door going in and out of the department. Staff, who was the guy that came in and helped me? Nobody in the store except for you guys and myself and another cashier. I knew that guy was there. I could describe him. He never said a word. I just felt that this wasn't my time to go. I mean, I was crushed. I really should have died. And I look back, I still get I get weak just thinking about it. But I just feel that there's things that my purpose here on this earth is still it's not completed. And I just felt that person was sent to save me. I couldn't thank this person. I don't know who this person was. Now, do you think this was a person? It looked like a person, but I'm convinced it was not a person. I felt that it was what they would call today is an angel that saved me. I'm very thankful. Praise God for that. I know I'm a changed person that day that happened to me.
Is he making it up? Is Mark a hopeless daydreamer seeking attention with an incredible life-saving story? Most people who know Mark say, no way. He owns his own successful business and is anything but over-emotional. But we double-checked. And asked his wife, Becky. Becky and Mark have been married for 18 years.
He's not a daydreamer, and when he says something, he means it. He does kid around a lot and jokes, and he's known for his jokes. But when he's serious, you better listen, because he really means it.
In the Bible, David writes in Psalms, God will command his angels to guard you in all your ways. Our next story is a modern-day version of that promise. A rapist was well known to be stalking a college campus. All girls were strictly warned never to walk alone at night. But Karen needed to get from her car to her college campus. All the while, a rapist waited. This is a true story.